Thank you very much, Jane. And it's interesting that this concept of triple bottom line is really starting to become part of our language here in the university, and really taking all of our decisions with a very balanced view about what we will do to the environment, to our economic outcomes and to the social outcomes that we create. So it's a very, very important message that I think we can all live at every level of our lives here at the university at least. I'd now like to introduce Associate Professor Jeff Westcott. I think I called Jeffrey Westcott before. I think we've got a nice respectful relationship going there, Jeffrey. And he's the Associate Professor of Environment and works mainly here at the Burwood campus. He has published extensively on environmental policy planning and management. He's a current member of the Zoos Victoria Board and Vice President of the Australian Coastal Society. He's been a member of the National Oceans Advisory Group, the Board of Parks Victoria, the Victorian Coastal Council and the National Parks Advisory Council, among many other community and professional bodies. As part of a reflection of this, he was a recipient of the 2011 Deakin Alumni Award of the Year for Outstanding Service and Achievement in the Community, and a Vice-Chancellor's Award also for Outstanding Contribution to the Community. Please welcome Jeff.
Thank you very much, and I also would like to acknowledge the traditional owners on whose land we meet today and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I'd also like to thank them for the way in which they managed our land for 20,000 years and continue to be actively involved. Well, happy World Environment Day. World Environment Day commenced on the 5th of June 1972. That was the first day of the very first United Nations Conference on the Human Environment. And so that's where we have launched into World Environment Day starting the following year. There's been 39 since, and the actual aim and purpose is to stimulate awareness of the environment and enhance political attention and public action. And that is a wonderful combination, political action and political attention and public action. So since then, as I say, there's been 39 days. Each day has a global theme that crosses the entire world, and very appropriately for 2012, the theme is the green economy, with the question, does it include you? Well, as you all know, from the 1st of July, the green economy is definitely going to include you. A green economy is one which has low carbon, is resource efficient and is socially inclusive. Low carbon, resource efficient, social inclusive. They are also the values that Deakin is espousing in its strategic planning and direction. So we are absolutely in tune from the beginning with those aims. The signing today is a global commitment by this university to join those 300 other plus universities. We're looking to an environmentally sustainable future by, as we've already heard, the triple bottom line. That means environmental, social, achieving equal status with economic as a triple bottom line. It has always originated from the concept of the bottom line, which was an economic term, and the notion is we will raise environmental and social objectives to the same level of economic, and that is what environmental sustainability is all about. Deakin has a wonderful history in environmental education in particular. Its antecedent organisations, back in 1984, Victoria College at Rusden commenced building on its B.Ed environmental program, commenced a Bachelor of Applied Science in Environmental Assessment and Land Use Policy. That was 1984. This is adapted, dare I say, has been sustained for almost 30 years and still exists as the Bachelor of Environmental Science program in Environmental Management and Sustainability. And it was for this year, 2012, that we have added the word sustainability to that environmental program, and that, I think, highlights how much we as a university are moving forward. We have signed on to meeting 10 particular aims in this declaration, so I won't read them out. But what has Deakin been doing in recent times to meet these requirements? A great deal. The Office of Sustainability has been very active indeed, and last year in Early last year, we, for the first time, produced a Deakin University environmentally sustainable strategy. So you can see the commitment there. And what we now have at our university is an environmental sustainability strategy. It has a very clear environmental vision, a community working in harmony with minimal footprint and fostering innovation, learning and accountability for a sustainable future. So we have, if you wanted to run that definition back across the 10 points, you will see that it meets most of those 10 points. But it isn't just a document espousing a lovely vision and a hope for the future and talking the talk. In fact, there are 10 identified program areas in the strategy itself, and no fewer than 119 actions around those 10 programs. So this is a strategy with very clear actions, very clearly spelled out. They cover almost 10 pages of the document, and as well as that, the university, after endorsing it, has also identified some very key recommendations or key priority areas for 2012, and we are in the process of working through those. There's 4 key points for this year. Developing an environmental sustainable design policy. So this is so that we can start to incorporate high quality design standards to 5-star standard or equivalent across all buildings. First, in the new buildings we build, but also retrofitting those we already have. We have already carried out energy and water audits and have a series of recommendations, and those with a payback period of 6 years or less are going to be the first ones to be introduced and have started this year in 2012. We've commenced the implementation of a university-wide environmental management system. So we are preparing an environmental management system that covers all the key areas: carbon, greenhouse gas, biodiversity, water, waste, procurement, very important areas, sustainable procurement, transport, built environment, education for sustainability, of course, environmental management systems that will follow those, and leadership and engagement. We are going to try to persevere and build strong leadership. You'll see these are highlighted in this area, not only inside the institution, but one of the, number 8 there, enhanced capacity of primary and secondary schools. It is very much a case of broadening out and serving our local communities and then also our national and international communities. And the 4th point in that series is establishing an education for sustainability working group, so that we can start to see an integration of our various environmental programs across all campuses. I'm going to leave you with a bit of a big picture vision, because I think there's a grand opportunity presenting itself in the next few years for Deakin University to put on a public demonstration of how committed it is to the environment. And that's the Warn Ponds Environmentally Sustainable Campus. Believe it or not, there is 325 hectares, I'm too old-fashioned, 325 hectares at the Warn Ponds campus. That's about 2,500 quarter-acre blocks if you're trying to visualise it. It's an enormous campus. And there's something else enormous about that campus. It's the roof area over the Geelong Technology Precinct building. So I'm just suggesting, and just putting it out there, how about we start to put some photovoltaic cells on that roof, and we can do it continuously and over a sustained period of time. You don't have to do it all at once. And the other major thing we could be doing there is, in this era of private land biodiversity conservation, we could be looking at completely revegetating with indigenous vegetation all the drainage lines on that property and the perimeters of that property. And there are, under the Clean Energy Future, there is a biodiversity grants available for such restoration work and connectivity work, and all you need to do is collaborate with some members of the local community. So it has all of the ingredients bundled up very nicely into a package where we could start to demonstrate how we could do this. So I'd leave you with a couple of messages. Think big. It's a collective effort. Let's integrate our efforts. We are talking the talk. We are now ready to walk the walk. And in conclusion, I'd add the 4th sort of element of the triple bottom line and the 4th meaning of sustain. Let's sustain the effort. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And just to give you some confidence, the new development for the student accommodation at the Warn Ponds campus under the National Rental Affordability Scheme. About 300 rooms will be under the photovoltaic roof in its entirety, so that will be very important, with working vegetable gardens going through the pedestrian spine, and 5-star Green Star built. And I think we've paid a premium of probably about $3 million on top of what we would ordinarily spend on a building of that scale, but I think shows the definite commitment between the economic, the social and the environmental. Now I'd like to introduce